so here we go. So we start out by writing down a rule. So G sub n, any term, is equal to the first term times the common ratio to the n minus 1 power. Okay? So any term would be negative 3. That's going to be equal to, I don't know what my G sub 1 is. I don't know what my R is, but I know that n is 2. So I get 2 minus 1. Okay? Simplify that, make it look nice and pretty. Negative 3 equals G sub 1 times R. This is the first part. Okay? Then I go to the next one. Negative 243 is equal to, I don't know what G sub 1 is. I don't know what R is, but I know that this is the sixth term. So negative 243 is equal to G sub 1 times R to the fifth power. Okay? So I take the R that's got the least, or the smallest exponent on it. In this case, it's the left one. And I solve this for G sub 1. So I divide both sides by R. Then I take that and I plug that into G sub 1. Okay? So I get negative 243 equals negative 3 divided by R times R to the fifth power. When I simplify that, I get negative 243 equals negative 3 R to the fourth power. Because R to the fifth power divided by R is R to the fourth power.
Could you have done elimination?
No.
No.
You can't in this case because they're multiplying. They're not being added.
Okay.
Yeah.
I get 4.
5 minus 1. Okay. Divide both by negative 3. And I get positive 81 equals R to the fourth power. Then what? Take the fourth root. So on the right, I get R. On the left, because I have an even root, it's plus or minus 3. Okay. So now I put that, I divide those back up. So I put plus 3 into my equation. So negative 3 divided by positive 3 gets me my first term of negative 1. Negative 3 equals R. Says negative 3 divided by negative 3 is my first term, which is positive 1. So I have 2 because I have 2 different R values. I have 2 different G sub 1 values. So I'm going to have 2 different rules. So my first rule is going to be G sub n is equal to G sub 1 times r to the n minus 1 power. My other rule is going to be g sub n equals that term's first term times its r to the n minus 1 power. Both of those are rules that make this scenario work. Different r's give me different g sub 1's, gives me multiple different equations going on. Okay. Questions on that? Okay. And that all comes out of right here because you've got an even root. If you had an odd root, then it's just going to be 1r.
1r.
Wait, what's an odd root?
Cube root,
Oh,
fifth root,
okay.
seventh root. Okay, but if it's a square root, a fourth root, a sixth root, or something like that, if it's an even number that you're taking the root of, then you got to add plus or minus. Okay. So today we're going to switch from geometric sequences, which remember was just a list, just like arithmetic sequences were just the list of terms, to geometric series. Okay? So we're going to go to series where now we add those terms. We find the sum of all of those numbers. Okay? But again, sequence and series, sequence is just the list, series is the sum, add them all together of all of the terms. Okay? The sum of a finite geometric series can be represented by either one of those two formulas. They both mean the exact same thing. They both will get you the exact same answer. It all really depends on what you want to, or what you want to do, how you want to do it, what you're given, etc. So S sub n is the sum of the first n terms. N, number of terms, those are the same. G sub 1 is the first term in our geometric series. And R is our common ratio. Okay? Now, you have a quiz this week, Friday. Do you think that those two formulas are note card worthy? I would consider both of them extremely note card worthy. Okay? Now, I don't know if you picked up on it yesterday on the video or not, but one of the keys that I said was on your note card, front side, have it be arithmetic and all of your arithmetic formulas and such. Back side, be geometric. Then you know which side of the card you're on and you're not trying to get them confused and try and crisscross applesauce your different formulas. Okay? Helpful suggestion. You have a note card. Okay?
We get a note card for we don't get a note card for the NTC test.
You got one side of a piece of paper.
Oh, okay.
And then so for the second semester one you're gonna get the back side of the same piece of
So
paper.
the formulas won't be on the test you have to write.
No. That's part of studying. Okay? Any questions on either one of those? you're going to need. You know what I mean? Out of this one, okay, so here, out of this formula, n is n. Right? Out of this formula, n is top minus bottom plus 1. Okay, sigma notation hasn't changed. Upper limit minus lower limit plus 1 gets me my n. Okay? Yushio, wake up. Okay? First term here is first term. And you plug it in. Okay? It's whatever your first term is, whatever the coefficient of that term that's got the exponent on it, that's where you get your G sub 1 from. Here, G sub 1 is you plug in the bottom. Actually, let me, instead of saying plug in, let's say plug the bottom. Into the rule. Yeah. R. Well, in the rule, it's what the power is being taken up, the base of the power. Okay? Over here, it's the same thing. Okay? It's that something. Okay? It's that something that you're taking the power to. It's the same thing. It's the base. Okay? G sub n, if you want to use that G sub n formula. Over here, it's G sub n. Over here, it's, you're going to plug the top into your rule. Okay. All depends on how you get it, where you get it from. Okay. But you guys are pretty adept at finding that information, so let's do it, man. Okay. So find the sum of that. Now, did I switch around these formulas? R sub n minus 1 and r minus 1. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I switched them around. So let me go back here and get rid of that. Okay. So our sum here, we said S sub n was G sub 1 times r to the n minus 1 all over r minus 1, right? Is that what we said? Yeah. Yeah? Okay. Or we said that that was G sub n times r minus G sub 1 over r minus 1. Okay. So, what do we need? It really depends on which one you want to use. You know what I mean? So, let's find all 4 of them, and then you guys can decipher which ones you want. First thing that we need to find is, what's one of the things we need to find? The n. We need to find n. Okay? So how am I going to find n? Top minus bottom plus 1, n is 6. What's another thing I got to find? G sub 1. That was red. Okay. How do I find G sub 1? Plug in bottom into that. So 4 times 1/2 to the 1 minus 1 power. 1 minus 1 is 0. 1/2 to the 0 power. 1 times 4. 4. R. What's R? R is 1/2. It's what the power is being taken to. now I've got enough to use the top formula, right? Yes? Okay. If I wanted to use the bottom formula, I would find G sub n, and I'd plug in 6 into this formula. 4 times 1/2 to the 6 minus 1 power. 6 minus 1 is 5. 1/2 to the 5th power is 1/32. Times 4 is 1/8. Okay. So I'll do the top one in purple. All right. So the sum up there of the first 6 terms is going to be my first term, 4 times 1/2 to the 6th power minus 1 all over 1/2 minus 1. Okay? Now, I would use a calculator. Okay? Do you have to? No, but I would. Okay? So 1/2 to the 6th power is 1/64. Minus 1 is negative 63/63. Actually, here, let's just do it right on here. Excuse me, negative 6, yeah, so it's negative 63/64 times 4 is negative 63/16 divided by negative 1/2 is 63/8. On a calculator, you can, on a TI Inspire calculator, you can type it in as is. You can go 4 times, open parentheses, 1/2, oops, missed it, 1/2 to the 6th power minus 1 all over 1/2 minus 1. Okay? 63/8. Okay? If you're not using a graphing type calculator, I would start on the inside and I would work your way out. Okay? Meaning I would start with, on my calculator, 1/2 to the 6th power equals. Then subtract 1 equals. Then times 4 equals. Then divide that by, and in my brain I would do 1/2 minus 1 is negative 1/2, so I divide it by negative 1/2. And we get 63/8. Okay? Now, let's try it using the other one. The last term is 1/8 times my R value is 1/2 minus my first term is 4 all over 1/2 minus 1. Okay? 1/8 times 1/2 is 1/16. Minus 4 is negative 63/16. Divided by negative 1/2 is 63/8. Okay. On a calculator, just to show you that I did it correct. So this would be 1/8 times 1/2. Whoa. Times 1/2 then minus 4 all over 1. Oh, again. 1/2 minus 1. We're trying.
Zach, don't you wish you were like that? That's smart. All we did is plug numbers in here.
Okay. Find the sum of the first 10 terms in that sequence. Spot check. What's n? 10. I'm looking for the sum of the first 10 terms. Okay. First term. 4. It's the number out in front. R. 1/2. Okay. Do you need to go any further? Do you need to find what that 10th term is? It's actually easier if you don't. But I think that top one is an easier one to deal with than the bottom one. So, okay. So the sum here then of the first 10 terms is going to be 4 times 1/2 to the 10th power minus 1 all over 1/2 minus 1. Where did I get what?
1,000.
I have 3.9.
Then you did something wrong.
Mm-hmm.
What did I do wrong?
So 1/2.
You should have got 7.99218. Why don't you just plug negative 0.5 in the bottom instead of going 1/2 minus 1? It's like a lot of extra steps.
That's right. I'm okay with using my calculator. Okay. Which then, so what did we decide this was? We said this was 1023 divided by 128. We would say that this would be then also approximately 7.9921875. We don't like round. We don't like decimals. We like fractions better.
Can you write down in decimals the answer though?
Carson, you want to take this one? It was literally the question before you asked that question last time.
I was trying to Sorry.
That's okay. It happens. You were typing in your calculator. I know. Okay. All right. Find the sum. Now we got a negative R value. Ruh-roh! Can we do it? N. What's our N? 15. 15 minus 1 plus 1 is 15. G sub 1? Negative 20, because I got to put 10 into, or excuse me, I got to put 1 into my rule, so that's going to be negative 20. R. Negative 2. Okay. Alright? No, G sub 1 is negative 20. My first term is negative 20. G sub n would be a super huge number. Okay? So, the sum of the first 15 terms is going to be my first term, negative 20, times my R value, which was negative 2, raised to the 15th power, minus 1, all over negative 2 minus 1. Okay? So, now. We had negative 20 times negative 2, oops, wrong tab, raised to the 15th power minus 1 all over negative 2 minus 1, or just negative 3, and I get negative 218,460. Negative 218,460. Oh, I already immediately regret forgetting to, circle my answer in the last slide. I should go back and I should do that.
Oh my god, are you seriously doing that?
OCD, it's a real thing.
Yeah, I know I have it. Lynn's is extra, and that's okay. I'm extra.
Okay? Questions on that one?
No.
Fantastic. Last one.
Joey, you don't want to get...
Number of terms. 7 minus 3 plus 1 is 5. First term. 18. 2 times 3 to the 3 minus 1. 3 minus 1 is 2. 3 squared is 9. Times 2 is 18. R? 3. Okay. So the sum of my first 5 terms is going to be my first term, 18, times my R value raised to the 5th power minus 1 all over R minus 1. 3 to the 5th is 243. 243 minus 1 is 242. Times 18 is a really big number. Really, it's only 242 times 9. There's a pen. 242 times 9 gives me 8. Carry the 1. Oh, yep, 8. Carry the 1 is 7. Carry the 3 is 2,178 is what I get.
Yep, that's what I got.
Well, we all got. Then we brought Moon in.
Okay.
Time for our assignment.
Hold on. Let me show you something.
Let's
Let me show you something special on the graphing calculator. Okay.
show me something special. You can use your head.
Okay. Here's a great way to check your work. In the catalog, actually not in the catalog, excuse me, in the shortcut, which is that key right there, in the shortcut on the Inspire calculators is this wonderful shortcut key, if you will. Okay? It's a sigma. Okay? And so you can set it up exactly how it looks. 2 times, open parentheses, 3 raised to the I minus 1 power, and it will give you 2,178.
I'm gonna use a graphic to put that on my assignment.
Okay. Only problem is,
No work.
you gotta show your work. Because I'm a mean old teacher.
I'm a mean old teacher.
Okay?
I'm gonna tell you old. I call you mean. Let me be a little offensive. We call you old. Unless you're a mean teacher. Why you got it?
Nice try, sister. Exactly. This one is due.
Thursday.
Why do you want to do Friday? This gives you an extra day to procrastinate on the assignment.
Yeah, exactly. If you can't get it done by Thursday, your chances are you're not going to get it done by Friday. Okay. So that one's due on Thursday. 47, 49, 50. There's
25
5 problems. Yeah, exactly.